What's up, y'all? I'm sitting over here at U.S. Foods in Montgomery. Been here since about just before 8 o'clock this morning. That was my appointment time. It's just after 4 p.m. now. And I'm finished. I'm unloaded. And I'm sitting out here on the street. Across from the U.S. Foods. Man, this load here has been a fucking... This load here has been a mess. Having problems on... I'm having problems with this load I had never had on flatbed. Might be a sign I need to go back to flatbed. Prime's got a flatbed division, but I ain't going to right now. But it is in the cards for later on in the future. But I picked this load up at Fort Morgan, Colorado. Got there, when the hell did I think I got there. Yeah, I got there Friday. Because I unloaded in Denver Friday morning. So my next load picked up at Fort Morgan, Colorado. I got over there and got my empty trailer dropped. And you can't park on the property there at this place. So you gotta go park out there on the street or up the road at Walmart or the Love's down the road, whatever, at Brush, Colorado. There's a Love's at Brush, Colorado, about 7 miles. So anyway, Friday before lunchtime, I got over there at Fort Morgan, dropped my trailer. They told me they'd call me when my load was ready. All right. Well, I went down the road and sat at Walmart for a little bit. Went inside and got some stuff. And then I went back over there to the place and just sit out there on the street. Because you can park on the side of the road. A little street right there where you go in at. So about 4 o'clock, about 3:30, 4 o'clock Saturday morning, they called me. Said my load was ready. So I got on up. Started my clock and all that. Done the pre-trip. Well, let me take that back. I started my clock and went in to the guard shack. Got my paperwork, or got my trailer number. And went and hooked up to my trailer, and then I done the pre-trip. Come back out. Got my bills. Got out there, done my depart call, or whatever. And I get, about 4 hours down the road, I get over into Kansas. Because I cut down at Brush, Colorado. Went down, I think it was Highway 36. Yeah, I think it was Highway 36. Come out down there on 70 just before you get to Colby, Kansas. Well, I got on down there into Kansas. Like I said, I made it about 4 hours away. Get a message on the Qualcomm and the app, but I didn't read it. Well, I get a call from my the weekend dispatch right after the messages come through. He told me I needed to turn around and go back to Fort Stockton. Fort Stockton. Go back to Fort Morgan and get with them because they put the wrong product on the trailer. So by the time I got back to Fort Morgan, you know, almost 8 hours is gone, you know, on my clock. They told me to go in there, drop my trailer, bring them the bills, and then go back and park on the street, because you can't be on property while they're unloading or reloading or, you know, whatever they're doing. You can't back the trailer up to the dock, you know, nothing like that. You got to drop your trailer and then leave off the property. And the yard dog come in there and get the trailer and, you know, move it around. But that's all right. Well, this is about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. They finally called me back about 5, around 5-ish, somewhere in the afternoon. Told me my load was ready. So, I went back in there and got it. I already knew what trailer number it was. Got back out to the guard shack. They checked the seal, because they seal it and all that. One of them thick-ass wire seals. They checked the seal. I looked at the paperwork. I checked the seal. It matched. And that's all I could do, is check the seal. I can't look in the trailer. Prime's trailers, the reefer trailers don't have vent doors on the, you know, on the back doors. They don't have any vent doors so that you can open it up and look in there. So my load's going to, I'm still going to the same place. They just had the wrong product on there, so I had to come back. But my load went to Lewisburg, Tennessee, and down here to U.S. Foods. Well, I get up there to Lewisburg, go check in with them. They tell me to cut the seal off and back in the door. So I cut the seal off, opened the doors up, and the trailer wasn't even a quarter of the way loaded. I mean, it didn't have, but from standing there on the ground looking at it, I figured it couldn't have no more than 10 pallets on here. I said, well, you know, whatever. Because the place in Lewisburg, they didn't order much, and there wasn't much coming here. So, you know, it is what it is. So I backed up to the dock. It didn't take them about 30 minutes to unload me. Get unloaded. They bring my paperwork back out to me, signed. I pull out of the dock, and they wasn't nothing left on the trailer. Nothing. I was like, oh, fuck. So the first thing I done was call my fleet manager. I told him what was going on. I said, I'm still at the place. So, he said, hang tight there. Let me find out what's going on. I closed the doors up, turned the unit off, whatever. And you can't sit on this property neither. So I had to pull out there on the road and kind of just, it was a dead end road they was on. So there wasn't nothing past them. So I just kind of eased over as, you know, far as I can to the, you know, without getting too far off of the grass. I sat there about 2 hours. And I messaged my fleet manager. I said, hey, what's going on with his load? He said, sales is still trying to work on it. I said, well, look. I said, can I go to the truck stop? Or do I need to stay here? He said, that's fine. You can go to the truck stop. He said, I'll let you know whenever, we figure something out. I said, all right. So I went back up 13 miles north to the Loves. Got there, got some fuel and all that. Found me a spot. They adding on to the parking lot. You know, making it bigger. So that place was a damn mess. But I sat there a few more hours. And I get a message. My fleet manager says, go back to the O2, which is the way Prime does it. I think I've already explained this before, but I can't remember. The way Prime does it, the O1 is where you pick up the shipper. The O2, O3, so forth, so on, that's how many drops you got. That's how they do their drops. So the O2 would be my first drop. The O3, the second drop, O4, whatever. So forth, so on. I got a message from my fleet manager. What was I talking about? But yeah, that's how the 02, 03, and all that goes. The 90 is how Prime, does the where you empty out at. So like for instance, Montgomery here at the U.S. Foods.
Attention.
This is where This is where I emptied out at. So this is my 90. Well, he told me to go when I was at the Lowe's. He told me to go back after a few hours of sitting there. He told me to go back down to the 02 because they took too much product off the trailer. And I was like, well, damn, did they not know what they was taking off? Because I didn't. I didn't know what the hell was loaded on this trailer. I didn't know how much was loaded on here. Got back down there. And when I get there, this was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Like I said, I wasn't my 13 miles up the road, so I got down there before 4:30. I get down there, and about the time I get there, I get a message from fleet manager saying that they won't be able to reload me today. Be 6 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. And I was already there, backed up to the door. My door was open. So I went around knocking on doors, trying to find somebody. Because the Loves up there had a small parking lot, and my spot was gone by now. I'm sure my spot was gone a couple minutes after we pulling out of it. So there wasn't nowhere else for me to park. So I was kind of getting irritated at this point. I went around, beat on the doors and shit, and this dude come walking out. He said, yeah. I said, yeah. I said, I'm here to, get reloaded. Y'all took too much stuff off of me today. He said, now he looked straight at the truck and said, who do you drive for? But he said the people that load and unload's gone for the day. He said, I can load and unload. He said, or he talked about himself. He said, I can load and unload. He said, but I got a lot of stuff to do. I said, it ain't much. I showed him the manifest for for that drop and this one. Well, he calls his boss man and all that, tried to figure out what's going on. Well, couldn't find out the stuff that they unloaded. The stuff that they unloaded was coming here to Montgomery. Had U.S. Foods all over it. Or the label, whatever.
Attention, a new important message has arrived.
So, come to find out, where I loaded that in Fort Morgan didn't put but 7 pallets on here. So when I went back, because they put the wrong stuff on here, they took the stuff off and forgot to put the second drop on here. Only thing they put on here was the 7 pallets coming here to U.S. Foods. So the 02 not only got the wrong 7 pallets off here when they were supposed to have had 10, but they signed for it. Saying they received their stuff. I said, man. So anyway, I got loaded last night. They didn't get nothing, so I had to file claims on that, or file with claims on that. Get down here to U.S. Foods this morning, about 15 minutes before my appointment time, and got in the dock, sat here for a while, about 4 or 5 hours, which that's a typical U.S. Foods, for you. I've sat in the U.S. Foods down there at Orlando and shit for half a damn day. But, so that is what it is. I don't care about that. Finally get unloaded here. Now I'm waiting on claims to get back with me because the U.S. Foods turned down 11 cases of fucking, they turned down 11 cases of whatever was on here, meat, some kind of meat. And that's probably what the message was. They let me know that, well, as a matter of fact, I can look. It says, case has been resolved. Wait a minute. Cases have been resold, but this customer is done receiving for the day. They said to have the driver check in tomorrow morning and gave a contact. PO will be assigned after delivery. I'll send a BOL shortly. And guess where I'm going? Bailey International of Atlanta. I don't know if y'all remember whenever I drove for Dixie, but I went there. When I'd haul them short loads from Laurel, from Amick Farms, that's where they go to, Bailey International. Going to the same place. Says be there early AM tomorrow. Make sure they sign for the product. Says he will email me the new bills. Please get them printed and signed. I don't know where in the hell I'm supposed to get them printed at. Well, that's good. That place I'm going to is still in this address, still in that GPS. But yeah, man, this damn load here has been a fucking, been some shit. But that's what to expect when you pull a reefer. So all this shit, all the product they left off this trailer, ain't my fault because I couldn't even be on the property while they was loading it. So it is what it is. Claims resolved it, and they sold these 11 cases. They sold it to Bailey. So that's what we're doing now, buddy. But alright, I'm gonna quit holding y'all up. I'll holler at y'all at the while. Y'all be careful out there.